I'm Jessica.
And this is the Poly Perspective. Let's get it started.
I thought we were going to start with this instead of jam out.
All right.
You're funny.
So, babe,
Daddy, chill.
how are we gonna start this? What are we gonna say?
Well, since this is the first episode, I think that we should, preface it with some of a background of this relationship.
Okay.
So, like how we got started and how things have evolved. And then maybe a little bit of advice or tidbits. What do you think?
Sure. Do you want to start?
Sure.
All right, let's go. What do you got for us?
So I think, especially being a spiritual life coach, I should mention that. I should mention I'm an astrologer and I'm a Gemini, so I talk a lot. So we might be here a while. But, just studying people and studying energy, the two biggest things that I work with clients is love and money. And a lot of that goes...
You look really pretty on camera.
Thank you. A lot of that goes hand in hand with the heart chakra, and a lot of that, stems from just relationships that are built as children, and then now that we're adults, which a lot of the people watching are going to be adults, I hope, or even if it's teenage love, it's something that's important is, relationships and companionship. And a lot of the time we look at movies or we take advice from people on what our relationship should look, feel, and be like. And now being an adult, it's like there's so many possibilities of what relationships could be, And so coming from my perspective, someone who is in a different type of dynamic, you're still just helping them with exchange and with being worthy and valued and love. So I just wanted to preface it with that is my background.
Bruh. This is so long.
Anyways, the women will appreciate this. I'm sure men will have more to say to women if they do want to get into something like this. But we have been in a relationship now for over 5 years, and I feel like it starts how a lot of relationships start that last a while. Is like we weren't really looking for anything in particular, and we had both gotten out of, serious relationships. Maybe not you as fresh as me. But yeah, so we've been together for over 5 years, and a lot of the reason Troy even chose me is because I'm bisexual. So, we're going to get into some sexuality things. If you're okay with that, then stay. If not, then, freedom of choice and whatever you want to consume. Do you have something to push?
Yeah, let's get to what the people have been thinking the whole time.
Why are you gay?
Oh, my God.
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Shut up. But I feel like I dated women before I dated men. And I played sports.
You feel like, or did you?
I did. I was sexual with women before I was sexual with men. And I was like
Me
always
too.
with women.
Yeah, definitely sexual with women and have not been sexual with men.
Where's the fucking gay button?
This one?
Gay!
Yeah.
Never been with a guy. Don't ever get that shit twisted.
But yeah. And so we're just going to talk about like on a flat level. What we're really going to talk about here is like relating to people and love and companionship, whether that's with whoever it's with and however that looks. And I think that we have...
And how to be in a relationship with multiple partners.
So being bisexual, I actually was caught at a young age and told that it was wrong. And so even relationships that I had gotten into gotten into with other men who were like, I don't accept that, or like, don't bring that around me, you know, whether it was like because of their religion or whatever.
They didn't like it?
No.
Nope.
Nope, they didn't like it. Their parents didn't like it. My parents didn't like it. I know. So we're going to talk about trauma. No, but so basically a lot of that was sneaking around.
Oh, yeah?
Oh my God, shut up and let me talk.
I am letting you talk.
So sneaking around, and I think you can relate to sneaking around because what is and isn't accepted. Well, having to sneak around maybe like in the beginning. I'm talking about in other relationships growing up. Because that was one of the things that I had wrote down, was why you were never sold on monogamy.
What?
Anyways.
What the fuck?
So basically when I was dating women, I would still, you know, be interested in men, or if I'm with a man, I was still interested with a woman, but not all the time are people, you know, open to you being with other people. And so a lot of that was, you know, kept just between me, myself, and I, or the person that I was with.
So you were in the closet?
No, I wasn't in the closet. I'm talking about if I was in a relationship with a man, I was still interested in seeing women.
Oh.
Yeah. And so you being in relationships or dating women, you were still wanting to see women.
Yeah,
I've
never been a one-woman man. And I always expressed that from the beginning with any woman that I was dating. The difference between, past relationships and this relationship is where I was in life at the time, financially and as a man, and what I could offer, bring to the table, and demand. Also knowing more and being more secure and confident, but always led with, like, I'm not going to stop talking to other women until I'm ready to, until we'll see where this goes. If you're not okay with that, fine by me. I was always okay with the answer no. 10 out of 10 women respected it. 7 out of 10 women accepted it, but only one would ever go with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for the most part, any kind of long-term thing I had, those girls knew that I was going to be talking to other women. It just was what it was. I had zero desire to be with one woman, you know, and that's why this had to change, like, because I'm not one for ultimatums. And every relationship I've ever been in, it got to a point, except for with my kid's mom, it was just never discussed. But it always got to a point where I hit the table. It got to a point where they would hit you with the, well, what are we doing? Or if we're going to keep doing this, I don't want you seeing other people. And I was like, you know, obviously not wanting to not be with them, but still in the same mind frame of I'm not going to be with just one woman. That's not who I am. So yeah, that's how it's been for me.
I was checking the sound on this.
Can you hear it?
I don't know. Oh no, yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Okay. I thought I heard a baby too. Parent life. Oh wait, it's still playing. No, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I was also wanting to still see women, you know, because some people think it's like a phase, or it's like, oh, you date a man, that means that you are no longer interested in women, or it's like you can only choose one or the other. And I think that's the whole premise behind this podcast, the poly perspective. Poly meaning many, you know, polyamory meaning many loves. And I know that there's like polygamy or polygyny or whatever, like, you
polygyny.
know. Yeah. And so living a polyamorous life, it's not like we need a title or we need, you know, to grasp onto anything. And I think that is what helped us to even open our minds to just living how we're supposed to, how we're desiring to live and not having to box ourselves in.
It was simple for me we got here and I chose you because you're bisexual. And I knew that going forward, there wasn't going to be a whole ultimatum of if we're going to keep doing this, that you can't sleep with other people. I picked you because you like women, and I don't see a life where there's one vagina involved. So for me, it was like, cool, we can do threesomes, we can figure it out. And that's where I guess we're going with this podcast, where how we evolved, which is, you know, discussing it, going through whatever, talking to other women, figuring things out, having children, maneuvering through that, and getting to where we are now, where we're looking to add somebody, potentially 2 people to this relationship. The end goal is what? 2 more women?
2 more women.
Yeah. And
Quadzilla.
You already got that title, baby.
Sensational.
But yeah. So I think what the people really want to know is why you're okay with this, because the biggest backlash I ever hear is from women. So I think people want to know why you're okay with it, and what are maybe some of the hardest things to deal with in a situation where your man sees other women.
I think that there's that quote that's like, I would rather know a harsh truth than like a beautiful lie. And I think that I lived enough lies, whether it was like cheating on people or, you know, wanting the best of both worlds, or, you know, trying to fit myself into a box of, yeah, I'm the person that you're looking for, but really I'm just, you know, a couple first dates. I'm, you know, acting so that I have companionship. And so I will say that before getting in this type of relationship, I did a lot of self-work, which is not pretty. You know, you have to face a lot of battles of like, you know, am I codependent? Why am I in a relationship? What do I want from a relationship? And a lot of the time before this particular relationship, I was seeking love outside myself. I was seeking validation outside of myself. And I was trying to fit myself in a box of whether it be monogamy or the age that you're at, you're like, I have to make something work, and I have to just settle down with one person. And like you said, like, oh, I'm not going to cut off all my options until I know, right? But I did a ton of soul searching, you know, when you have the what's that called? Like enlightenment, or, you know, and so a big thing that I was practicing even before I had met you was like detachment. What are you going to...
Before you met me?
Before I met you was detachment, especially with like Buddhism and like just becoming the best me.
Stop the cap.
I was.
You didn't know what detachment was until you met me.
No, I was doing it in a way that was self-serving. Did I know what detachment was in a relationship? Not necessarily, but I did know what detachment was, like work on me, have a routine, mind, body, soul. If I do ever get in a relationship where I can be my most expressed version of myself and also allow them to, where I'm not just projecting my fucking trauma on them. What you gonna push?
Nothing. Stop worrying about the buttons.
You about to push some shit.
Just
But anywho, so when people are like, how are you okay with that? It's funny because people don't ask me that. You know, people don't be in my, I'm gonna tell it like it is on this podcast, you know, like being the energy that I am, I feel like I have a net of like what is or isn't allowed in my energy, and I'll tell you, no weird shit comes for me.
I didn't say anything.
Or
weird.
like, but I'm just saying, like, so I don't, you know, anybody watching who could be like, well, what are people gonna think, or how are people gonna come at me? And that's what I'm gonna say is like, when you work on yourself and your frequency and your energy is something, you know, you raise that and you are sure of yourself and you're confident, like weird stuff doesn't come for you. So how do I navigate this relationship, or how do I, what was the question? How do I like allow you to do this?
I didn't even say allow. I said, how are you okay with it?
How am I okay with it?
And how are you secure enough to deal with your man being with other women?
Okay,
because
so yeah.
like I said, those are the questions that I get. I mean, the top questions I get when I bring it up to any female or whatever who could potentially be interested in possibly flirting with the idea of joining us or
even just being with you separately.
No, not being with me separately. Of joining us is, I mean, I guess even being separately, women say shit like, I don't share, or I'm not good with sharing. And I mean, I don't go into it right away, but I mean, at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 people are sharing any fucking way. They're just not telling each other about it. But the top 2 questions are not questions, but things that I hear is
Let me write this down.
Is that they're not good at sharing, and they always ask, well, is it okay if she sleeps with other men?
We're going on a whole different tangent here.
Because you didn't
How
answer
am
the
I
question.
okay with it? Okay, so how am I okay with it, or how am I secure with myself? So okay with it. Like I said, I was in so many relationships where I had to be a different person. And being a multifaceted person, especially being a Gemini, I feel like I have 1,000 personalities and I have 1,000 things in my mind at once. And I have this, this energy and this aura of like, I want to share that with the world. And if I have to like dim my light around you, I don't want to be around you. And so you also have a lot of energy, and you're a multifaceted person. And I told myself the next relationship that I get in, I want them to also feel able to be seen in a room for who they are. Like when someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. And of course, like you came with 2 kids, their mom, you came with like your own vices, your own things that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy. And instead of trying to change you, I was able to observe, like, I get to make a choice. Do I love him for who he is? Or we could turn the fan off because I am motherfucking cold. I'm going to start shivering. And if I want to be loved for exactly who I am and be, the fully expressed version, I have to also open my eyes to someone else's fully expressed version, and I make a choice from there. And from the beginning, it wasn't like he sold me a lie or a dream of like, you're going to be the only person in my life forever. Like he said, he chose me, he's going to give you the guy version of, I chose her because she's bisexual. And so, that ultimately, yes, is like, in fewer words, why he chose me. But I was like, I wasn't trying to possess him. So when people ask like, how are you okay with it? Troy is not my possession. Like I don't own him. He doesn't own me. And so love is a choice. And he is a person who expressed from the beginning, I like to sleep with multiple women, or I like to, I want this relationship to eventually involve like threesomes, or, whether it's sexually or romantically, or him being able to do what he does on the outside of when we're together. And so I had to make a choice.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
I had to make a choice if I was down with it, which of course you have to embody that, which we've talked about making this podcast for a while, but there also had to be an embodiment portion of.
What does that mean?
Embodying something like, yeah, you can like theorize shit all day. Like you could read a book about fucking basketball and like never touch one and never get on the court, and then, make a podcast about basketball. And then someone asks you like, how's the game? How's the sweat levels? And you're like, oh, I don't really know it like that. And so there was some theories before we had been with as many people as we had been with, or even been in romantic encounters, or whether it's me seeing people by myself or you seeing people by yourself. And so I feel like when you gain experience, you also gain embodiment of like.
When you say people, be clear that it's women.
Women.
This is a one penis policy.
Yeah, women. When I see women, or when you see women. But yeah, so how do I be secure in that? Like I said, there's a lot of self-work. There's a lot of open communication, because this is an open relationship with a goal of, triad or quad, being, 2 women or 3 women with 1 man. And for now it's open, where we do see and talk to and have our own dating sites for women. And so how am I okay with it, right? Or secure with it? Mm-hmm. That was the only question.
Yeah. I'm sure people want to know how you're so secure in being in a relationship where other women are involved.
Well, I would also say that the person that you're with, there's also like a level of communication that we have. Like, it's not like you're just with some bum who's not doing anything for you and he's like, I'm going to go fuck other bitches. Is that all right? Like, it's not like that, like y'all know I'm already talking a whole fucking lot. So he hears me all the time. Like, I'm a communicator. It's what I do. I would rather over communicate than under communicate. And so there are, it hasn't been like easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like, there's been hard conversations. There's been things that have had to change or evolve or me grow, and levels of detachment even getting deeper. But
times where you felt like
I'm in danger.
Yeah, where I wanted to, like, because it really, anywhere that you're triggered, you're not free. And so there's been like triggers of like, we're gonna bring women into this who are going to like things that I don't like that you like, and you guys are going to be able to relate on that. And there's like, jealousy is a real thing, but like, some people are like, how are you not jealous? I still get jealous in different aspects, but it's not like it like deters me from like life. Like, you could still be jealous, like, oh damn, that person got a raise before I did, or that person got the car before I did, like whatever, but you're still like, you're a human, you have human feelings. But how am I so secure? I'm gonna tell you, I do my self-work. I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And I also know who I'm with. I'm not with a bum. I'm with someone who provides. I'm with someone who I fell in love with. I'm with someone who is the father of my children. He's a great dad. He communicates with me. He doesn't lie, which, if you want your man to lie and give you butterflies and daisies about every single little thing, then that is fine. But that is your reality, right? Like, I'm going to ask for the truth, but the truth doesn't always feel good, right? Like, you're going to have to be able to like swallow your pride. If you really want the truth and you really want to get into like in-depth questions, then you're going to have to be able to either handle the truth and then go from there, or just don't ask for what you don't want to know. But yeah, like I said, he's not just a bum who's like, hey, we're going to split the bills halfway and I'm going to be out here in these streets.
Damn, going 50-50 makes you a bum?
Well, I'm not saying that you're a bum, but like, or I'm not like paying his bills while he's out here like using my car to fuck bitches while I'm at work.
You are different.
You got me
spoiled.
You got me fucked up. Like, I would not be that bitch.
Spoiled.
I am spoiled like milk, but
Didn't mean to press that.
So yeah, so that's kind of how we got here, the evolution of our relationship. And we got pregnant pretty early, so it wasn't like the priority was to make this podcast. And we've been talking about it for years. Like, we literally have our own podcasts. We've talked about it. We've done an episode like on my other podcast, but I don't think we were in a space.
That was Instagram Live.
Yeah, but it's on my podcast as well.
You should delete that.
I know, we really fucking should. Don't even go look for it. I'm gonna delete it before this comes out. But yeah, so the embodiment portion. But yeah, so this relationship has evolved, and now is like, just more secure. Like, if he's gonna see somebody, he just lets me know.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Shut up!
Jesus Christ, you're talking
Yeah, right.
a lot.
Women are gonna love this shit. And then a woman who wants to join us is gonna be like, oh, I fucking love her voice. So here I am. Yeah, so being sure of yourself, and also like being who you are out loud. Because if like I try to be somebody I'm not on like social media, with like if I don't, closed mouths don't get fed. So like if I'm not out here telling people like, hey, this is what I would like, like, then I'm not going to get it. So I have to also be vocal or just like energetically aligned with, hey, we're both seeking women, whether that's like separately or together.
Yeah, you need to hit on women a lot more. You need to just hop in their DMs like,
Hello, motherfucker.
That's what the fuck I did with the one that we're with right now.
you did.
I did.
With. You just claiming it, huh?
I mean, like, we're talking
Seeing,
to.
talking to.
So.
You know who you are.
Anywho. So, yeah, so that's how we got here, the evolution of the relationship and how I'm secure. And yeah, it's going to come down to the relationship that you have with the person too. Like agreements or boundaries between you and I.
Oh, okay.
Like a foundation, like there's a foundation built. It's not just like, hey, I fuck you and I fuck other people, so that's cool.
I mean, that's how I was going on before I met you and when we first started dating.
No, yeah. I mean, when we first started dating, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of relationships that last a long time, I've noticed, like, it's like both people were like, I wasn't really looking for anything serious. And then boom, fell in love, right? Because the person was focused on themselves and they weren't focused on like filling a void or like getting something that, like, just to numb themselves or like, like, I don't know, some relationships.
Yeah, no, I definitely have heard and seen women who just get into relationships just so they're not alone.
Yeah.
Can you grab me a bottle of wine?
Yeah.
A few moments later.
So I have some questions for you.
About fucking time. Jesus Christ, you've been talking for 30 minutes.
So why were you never sold on monogamy then?
Why was I never sold on? Oh.
Yeah. Like, has this always been a thing or did it like recently? Holy fucking shit. I did a reading for someone and that bottle is the name of the fucking shit that I got. The chariot.
The card that you put?
Crazy as fuck. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, so that is my question for you is why were you never sold on monogamy, and has this always been a thing, or was there an age that you crossed over to this is
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Listen, this is such a deep question. Like, we're getting into so much. I need to find the one. I need that button to start this because there we go. Like,
whoa, buckle up.
yeah. I'm the way that I am for two reasons.
Why are you the way you are?
I need to put that sound there. But the reason that I am like this is because I'm an observer. So I don't just, and I heard a long time ago, a wise man learns from not only his mistakes, but the mistakes of others. So watching relationships, watching people do what they do, and seeing that this world is a wild fucking place. I just have never trusted anybody further than I can throw them.
He's also a Scorpio.
Fair, but, and I mean, I'm big as shit and I can throw most people pretty far. I can throw them further than most people. So, like, I do trust, but.
You've just seen a lot and heard a lot.
There's just so many things that it's just like, I'm not willing to let my heart get broken. So, I don't know.
So you broke it yourself?
No, it's fully intact. It's just that I've seen so much that I would never. So put it this way.
You sound like the villain or the superhero that's like, because of A, B, C,
Well, that's
because
what,
of pain.
That's what happens. As a superhero, the comic books are based on that. Something extremely traumatic has happened, which caused either a superhero or a villain.
Yeah.
And I have a bit of both. You know what I mean? I'm the villain to outrageously liberal thinking people, but I'm a hero to those who believe in
Free thinking?
critical thinking and making things make sense. So basically the things that I've seen have caused me to be unwilling to get my heart broken, to ever give every ounce of me to anything.
So you learned from other people's mistakes, so you don't have to learn that mistake yourself?
Exactly. But what I'm saying is like the things that I've seen and done, and I'm just like, no, I'm not. I refuse to let that happen to me. So simply put, one of the biggest standout moments in my life that I can admit I'm a little jaded, was I was
Drake quote on here?
I was out of town. Oh fuck, I forgot I've been to Pennsylvania.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I was in Pennsylvania during hair school, and
He's a barber.
I was arguing at this time. I don't want to say I was atheist, but I probably was. I didn't believe in anything. And I was arguing with this extremely religious girl who grew up in the church and all this other stuff. She was beautiful. We argued for like an hour, so much so that other people who were hanging out with us, sitting around, ended up leaving. You know what I mean? And after we agreed to disagree, we ended up back in my hotel room, and I beat the drawers off that girl. I was tearing her down. You know what I mean? Every position, everything you can think of. And like during our argument, I was just like, there's no way. Like, she doesn't like me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like we do not see eye to eye. But anyway, we go back to the hotel room. We do it. All of that. She just so happened to. So the reason I was there was for a contest, a contest against the other schools in the country. Well, at the time there was 3 schools in Arizona, and we all flew on the same Southwest jet there and the same Southwest jet back. And again, so we argue, we go to my hotel room, we do it. When we leave, yeah, that's what she was doing, all of that. When we leave, we fly back on the same plane. I haven't talked to her. This was like the first or second day at the conference or whatever, or the competition. Don't really talk to her the rest of the time we're there. We leave, get back, and we're at baggage claim. And about the length of this room, she's over there, I'm over here. She's getting her bag or waiting for her bag. So like, let's say she's in the corner over there. I can't give you guys context, but she's in the corner over there. Her man and her mom are over there by the altar. Her man and her mom are over there by the altar. I see her run over and jump into this man's arms, give him a big ass hug and kiss, and all of that. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, I was just clapping her cheeks, like, disrespectfully, and had zero desire to talk to her ever again. And that made me wonder, have I ever been him? Like, have I ever been that close to a man? Is there a dude 30 feet away from me just like, damn! Yeah.
That's deep.
So seeing that, and then
That would
just
make me sick.
being a barber and all this other stuff, and having girls who I've been with bring their new men to get their haircut, and I have to sit there and not say anything. Like, I just refuse to get my heart broken. So for me, it was become as successful as possible, as handsome as possible. And now I'm doing my finances are straight. I was lucky enough to be tall, so I'm already appealing to most women. My teeth are straight. And yeah, so for now, it's just it's getting my physique right. So I have even more options, but it's basically I decided to live life on my time, on my terms, and that's how, in my opinion, we got here. It's either get with how I like to live life or what I see my life being like, or get going. You don't have to be here. I've never made you feel like you have to be here. This situation, relationship, everything about this is completely your choice. From being with me, from accepting my children, from having children, to not working anymore and being a stay-at-home mom. Like, these are all things that were offered to you, but it's ultimately your choice. And every time we have our little spats or whatever, because we're not perfect, I don't have it in me to get my heart broken. So most of the reason I cut arguments short and tell you, well, there's the door, is because I don't have it in me to worry about that. There's 8 billion people on this planet. There's 332 million people in America, and 51% of them are women. You know what I mean? You're outnumbered by women. I'm gonna find somebody. I'm gonna find women who want to do this. We're gonna find another woman who wants to also quit her job and enjoy the fruits of my labor and build together and parent together and grow together and have a fun fucking life without having to worry about, is such and such cheating or such and such doing this, because that's how we get down, which is with other women. Now, I mean, let's say we get our 2 extra women and it's 4 of us. At that point, I'm pretty sure I could be 4 monogamous.
I guess it just depends on what kind of lifestyle we're living too, because we could be somewhere that, you know, because polyamory, like multiple loves, say that you're in a town or you're traveling or something, like, or if.
Fair. I mean, as long as you guys are okay with it. But for the most part, like, at least in town while I'm here and we're all together, like, I would be confident enough for when a woman is hitting on me, which doesn't happen a lot, but is hitting on me. I'm like, sweetie, I got 3 girlfriends. I don't have time for you. Like,
yeah.
If you want to bang me, go talk to them. You got to get through all 3 of them.
Okay, so this is why you weren't sold on monogamy. Got it. So you weren't
that, and it just doesn't fucking work. Like 60% of marriages, which is majority, it doesn't work. If majority, that's how.
Because I mean, there are like arranged situations that are more so like not really by choice, like
sure,
that work because it's what is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a religious thing and all that other stuff. In America, monogamy doesn't work. Okay, and that's where we live, and that's what we need to talk about. And when I say it doesn't work, I'm talking in general. For the most part, marriages don't work. People get married more than once all the time. And it's supposed to be until death do us part, but it's really until I either find somebody, in a woman's situation, it's either I find somebody better or you fuck up.
Or
because men don't leave relationships.
A lot of the marriages that I've seen, they just do things behind closed doors, like as far as like the man seeing other women or
which
women
is why
seeing
they
other
don't
men.
work.
Or they just stay married and stay with secrets or things that...
No, they'll eventually leave. Put it this way. Women are constantly looking for the best man. You...
Where did that TV turn on?
I have no idea.
It's creepy.
It is a little creepy. Anyway, you gave a Gemini-ass answer on why you're okay with this, but plain and simple is I check all the fucking boxes is why you're okay with this, which is you're not going to find many men like me, and you hadn't found any men like me, which made you okay with being in this situation because...
Misogyny.
Call it what you want. I don't hate women, you know that. But the odds of replacing this situation are less than me finding another pretty woman who wants to quit her fucking job.
Yeah, and I'm in love and I'm happy
I know that, but you're in
Yeah,
love because
tall, dark,
I didn't
handsome.
say it's like
No,
don't-
I'm not saying
people
that
need
I
to
don't
understand
have
it's not
standards.
it's not just the physical things, it's all that other stuff. I'm charming, I'm handsome, I'm funny, I listen to you, I make you feel safe, I make you feel comfortable, all the things that most women want. Stop, you're distracting me.
It's creepy. No, yeah, you definitely check boxes. And like I said, like, I'm not saying I don't have standards. Like, I ask a lot of questions before I actually, like, demisexual. I know you think it's dumb, but, like, I have to be able to connect with you, but I also have to know,
What
like,
does demisexual mean?
like, I have to get to know somebody before I'm just going to, like, jump their bones.
What?
I gotta know, like, do you have a car? Are you working? Like, I'm not going to go and get in a relationship with a man who's, like,
I thought that was sapiosexual.
that's like your mind, I guess. I don't even
What's
fucking know.
demi? I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, you should look it up. I don't fucking
Keep
know.
talking.
Anywho, so sold on monogamy. I don't even know if monogamy was something that I like was bought into. Like I said, I was like seeing people.
Demisexual, experiencing sexual feelings and attraction only after developing a close emotional relationship and not the basis of first impressions, physical characteristics, etc. The way characters dynamic continues to develop through these two novels is very relatable to me as a demisexual person. Noun, a person who experiences sexual feelings and attraction only after developing a close emotional relationship.
Stop the cap.
That's
Nailed it.
no, that's bullshit.
I'm talking about with like women, or even like
either way.
some of the men that I actually dated. Like, anyways, I was in toxic relationships.
Those
before
men
this.
had to pass prerequisites before you got close enough to
Right.
them. So it's like I'm over these fucking. Oh, the camera ain't even on me. I'm all over these fucking buzzwords that women use to describe how they maneuver in a sexual situation. At the end of the day, you're being politically correct, which is fine because women are better social creatures. And you don't want to offend anybody, and you don't want to sound shitty or narcissistic. But at the end of the day, every man that you've dated and every woman that you dated, the initial part of that was physical. That close second, because you are a Gemini and you talk to people so much, if they can intrigue your mind, that makes them more attractive. Okay, but they still have to pass prerequisites, which you were just naming, in order for you to get sexual with them. So it's not like you have to have a close bond in order to do it.
No. But I'm just saying, like, to be in a relationship, like, to be with someone, but to, like, no, of course, like, I saw you were an attractive person. Like, of course, I want someone who's attractive, and, like, if I'm going to jump their bones, like, of course, it's great if they're tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, but
And
you
had
saw
a
me,
house, had a fucking truck.
but you saw me before that and didn't say a word.
Okay.
You
Here's the thing.
came and hung out with me and then disappeared for 2.5 months. And
I also have a Leo rising. So, like, I want to be the center of attention. And so knowing that you've been with as many people, I knew before I knew. Yes, the fuck I did. Yes, the fuck I did.
you didn't. I
Just
was a
looking
virgin
at you.
before you.
Oh, bitch, please. Looking at you.
I was
knowing
a virgin.
Bye.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Anyways, you just have it written all over you that women are, like, throwing themselves at you. And I am not the type. I'm not the type to throw myself at someone that everyone else is throwing themselves at. And, like, I low-key like the weird outcast people. Like, the Leo, like, the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. And so you having that Aquarius rising, like, you're very intriguing and different and unique and, like, go against the grain. Like, the first time we hung out, we fucking watched flat earth videos. So, anywho, how much time are we at?
44 minutes. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
I am too. We should do this every week.
Yeah, we should.
We're
So
gonna.
what I was gonna say about me not being sold on monogamy is because like I didn't know what the fuck I wanted. Like I wasn't the type to like plan a wedding or like want children. Like that's not something that I was looking at. But there's astrologically, there's a lot to do with that too. That says I wasn't going to be like married or settled down until I was older anyways, with my Saturn in the 7th house. But anyways, so that wasn't my first priority. I think I just wanted companionship, if anything. So I was probably always in some type of relationship or situationship. But when it came to like monogamy, like me and you forever against the world, like nuclear family, like I don't really know if that was like my heart's desire, because I had never seen that. Like my parents lied to me, said that they were married, they never got married, and like, they were they weren't very happy together. And then, you know, seeing the people that I've seen get married and like not enjoy it or have kids and not enjoy it, I was like, bitch, if I'm gonna do any of that, I'm gonna make sure that it's enjoyable. I'm gonna enjoy my life. So no, did I have the whole polyamory or like demisexual? I didn't have any titles for anything. I just went with energy, and I was like, I want to be accepted for my fully expressed self, and I want to feel safe, and I want to feel like open to be me, and I want whoever I end up with to also be able to do that. And that was really just the basis of where this all came from. And of course, like if you're going to be with someone long term, if you change or if you evolve, they also have to evolve in different ways. Like you can't just be the same person throughout, because people change. Like people are meant to be, you know, the caterpillar and the butterfly. But if I became the butterfly and someone wanted to stay a caterpillar, that's when people outgrow each other. And I think that we've always
Emotional damage.
I think that we've always evolved, like individually and together. And like you said, there's been things, but what? Oh, so I wanted to ask, does unlearning apply to you? Do you think that you had to unlearn some type of relationship style or unlearn anything when it came to this lifestyle, or like what you did want, what you didn't want? Is this your ideal situation? Or
I will say the one thing that I did have to unlearn is thinking that men and women are equal, and that the way we move in society is the same. It's not. Mm-hmm. We're not. That's the only thing when it comes to this relationship I had to unlearn. I knew from the beginning that monogamy didn't work. I just felt like that's what everybody tries to do, that because that's what you're raised and told to do. And that's what you see people continue to try. No, I mean, it just is what it is. A man and a woman get together, get married, have a family, and they're supposed to do that forever. That's why there's vows, till death do us part, for better or worse, through sickness and health, through richer or poorer. Mm-hmm. But women leave when it's poorer. Men and women leave through sickness and health. Well, sickness, not health. And women definitely leave for when it's worse, not better. Again, 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women, 90% if she's college educated. Feminism has taught women to be men. It belongs to the streets. It is the furthest thing from femininity. And that's what I had to unlearn, was that we're supposed to be the same. The most unhappy demographic of women in the nation at the moment is like women from 38 to 46 who have their career, but they're single with no children, and they drink a lot of wine and have cats. Like
sounds like that Baby Mama movie.
Yeah, they're lonely because they became the man that they wanted. It's
a damn shame.
So feminism taught women to go out here and chase a career during your prime years of attraction, because men value youth, beauty, and purity. So from 18 to 26 is when a woman is most attractive to men. That is from men ranging in age from 18 to 65. That is when women are most attractive. And that is when women's bodies are at the prime of their life to bear children. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that I've learned instead of unlearning as of this year that I had no clue, and I don't think is very common knowledge to most people, which is 90% of a woman's eggs are gone by the age of 30. At 35, it becomes a geriatric pregnancy, which is where gestational diabetes happens. There's more complications with the baby. It's harder to keep and bring a baby to term, so miscarriages happen more often. Mm-hmm. All of these things. And I don't think even women know that. Otherwise, they'd be in more of a rush to have children. I think it was just generally accepted that probably shouldn't be having kids in your mid-40s. You know what I mean? But if at 35 it starts geriatric, why are you waiting so long to start a family? And then on top of that, the crazier thing is a lot of women nowadays don't want to have children, which I understand because most men are shit. But that is a fucking superpower. Like, you can grow life inside your body. And women don't want to do that. And that just blows my mind. I mean, I understand it from the aspect of the pain or whatever, but like, then where's the accountability on the woman in vetting a man long enough to know if he's the one who can protect, provide, and be the father that he's supposed to? You know what I mean? I don't know. So my unlearning was that, that's where I was getting to. The biggest thing I had to unlearn was that we're not the same. We're not equal. So like I said, women constantly ask me, is she allowed to see other men? And my answer is no, because men and women do not casually sleep around the same way. And also, men, it's much harder for men to acquire sex than it is for women. Mm-hmm. So when they're like, oh, well, she should be able to see other men and all that other stuff. And I'm like, first of all, do you want to? Do you want to just be laying on your back with man after man, which as a man, a vagina is going to get the job done no matter what. We're going to come. Mm-hmm. But you don't know what you're getting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know if he knows how to use it any fucking way.
It's ghetto. So
you're just going to be on your back, guy after guy after guy, just because you can?
Stop it. Get some help.
For real. And women don't want to do that. If women had their choice, they'd rather be with one man who gets the job done and stick with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they want to experience a couple. You know what I mean? But if they had their choice, if he was handling all their other check boxes, then they would prefer to be with one man. A woman does not want to see other. Matter of fact, most men are invisible to a woman if she has a man that she loves, admires, and respects. So, no, that's what I had to unlearn, was thinking that you should equally be able to go see other men, because while I'm at work providing for this household, paying for your car, paying gas that goes in your car, you could be out here all fucking day just getting ran through by dudes, because as a woman, if you want some dick, all you need to do is offer some pussy.
Yeah, I think...
Did you press one?
No, I was trying to find one.
And it's different for me, you know what I mean? No matter what, I still have to do some level of courting in order to get pussy from a woman, even though I am taller than most men, more attractive than most men, definitely more successful than most men. Matter of fact, if you just put everything that I bring to the table together, I'm less than 1% of availability. Mm-hmm. Only 11% of the country makes over six figures. Only 15% of the country is 6 feet or taller. Only 2.3% of the country is 6'4" or taller, which is where I'm at. Then if you like black men, put that under less than 1%. Also, if you want somebody who's under 45 and not obese, you know, it's just the odds are not in your favor for finding somebody like that. So when you do find a man that has options, men are only as faithful as their options. So they're going to exercise them. And without sounding as fucking, where is it?
Monogamy.
You know, without his sounding as much of that as I can, like, most women aren't very special. Like, we've had these conversations, and I mean, I guess we can get into that in another episode, but like, outside of vagina, how are you being an asset to my life? It's not you in particular, but how is, like, what separates you? What makes you special when most women can cook, most women can clean, most women are pretty, not most women, but there's a lot of pretty women who cook and clean and all of that. You need to separate yourself by being assisting me in continuing to better our journey in our life. Yeah. And also being a dutiful wife, a dutiful mother, and not being a headache for me. Mm-hmm. My job and my duty in this relationship is to go out in the world every day, battle with everything, mm-hmm. and bring home bread for you and these children. Mm-hmm. And I do that. And the last thing I want to do is battle with you when I get back here.
Right.
So that's why we've been able to get here. And I think that that's one of the reasons why you're okay with being in this type of situation, is because you know you're safe. You know you're secure. You know you're taken care of. You know I have your back. You know that if something needs to be done, I'm going to handle it. You know that if someone attacked you, that I'm going to die for you to protect you. You know that that you have something of value that others want. And you know that I'm not going anywhere. And all we want to do is add to it.
Right. And, you know, whoever does end up being in this, they will get that same treatment from both of us. Like the safety, the security, the love, the nurturing, the cook.
Bills paid.
So, yeah. What was I going to say?
I don't know, but we're closing in on an hour. You
Okay.
got one more? Or?
Yeah. If a man were to ask, or I wanted to also say that the American dream has been sold in different ways during different eras. So, you know, maybe the, like, equality, you know, is the new American dream, where I'm like, who the fuck told women?
Women don't want equality. Women have equality. Women want equal outcome. Mm. There's a huge difference. There's not an opportunity right now in America that a woman doesn't have that a man has.
No, yeah, but they're chasing that. I'm saying, like, to have the desire. So saying, like, I don't want kids.
No, they have that. They have all the rights in the world for that.
No, they have the rights. I'm saying now they've bought into the idea that that is what they're going for.
Yeah, because they want equal outcome.
Yeah, the new American dream is chasing equality.
Yeah, it's Looney Tunes.
But and I'm fine with however people want to live their lives. It's none of my business how anyone else lives their lives. The only thing that I can control is myself.
Yeah, and if that woman doesn't like
I don't judge anyone.
But
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
So yeah, there's, oh my gosh, we need to have another episode like next week, because I already have like so many things I want to say. So to end, I did want to ask you a question.
Answer's 4.
It's my favorite number. Do you have any advice to people who want to start practicing non-attachment or non-possession, or do want to start navigating this lifestyle, whether it be single, married, or dating?
No, God.
No, you don't have anything. Oh. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Say that again. Do I have any advice for anybody? What?
Who wants to start practicing non-attachment or non-possession when it comes to like a human being?
Oh, that's fucking easy. You don't own nobody. People aren't possessions. And
but what if that's what they were told?
So
how do you start unlearning that, but in a way that isn't like berating, but like is like,
what does berating mean?
Like breaking them down. Like,
breaking who down? Me breaking them down, or them breaking their partner down?
No, you breaking them down. Like, just fucking do it. Like Shia LaBeouf. Like,
no, that's how I get down. If
okay, so then if a man were to ask you,
playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
So if a man were to ask you how to start navigating this lifestyle, whether it be married, single, or dating, how would they go about that?
Smoke weed every day.
He doesn't even smoke. You're stupid.
Stupid.
Like in the non-attachment, like how you're non-attached, but like maybe not in a jaded way, but like how you are like, okay, people aren't possessions, but I still want like love and companionship, but I want to be able to, whether it be sleep with other women or, you know, be in a triad situation, have threesomes, like open it up with like partners type thing.
Simply put, for a man to be in this situation, if you want to do this, the only way you're going to be able to pull this off is if you can provide for multiple women. That's one. Two, do your best to be in shape, because a lot of us aren't blessed with being tall. And gain some status, whether that's in your community, whether that's at your job, whether that's, hell, maybe if you become famous. But status is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. Point blank period. You've seen ugly ass athletes pull the baddest women. You've seen ugly ass rappers. Lil Wayne in his prime had women running around here saying that he was sexy, and everyone knows that Lil Wayne looks like a fucking beetle. Okay? That guy, Welvin, got bitches over getting famous and having some status. But the simple fact that you get to cut lines at the hottest nightclub, that you get to get invited to yacht parties, that you can fly someone all over the world. Those kind of things are attractive.
And don't lie and say that it's not, because women will be like, no, it's like their personality that, like,
yeah.
I think that a lot of people have to like stop being delusional too and be like, you know what, face the facts. Like if, you know, a celebrity crush started talking to them, they would risk it all, to whether it be sexually or like.
But it doesn't have to be a celebrity crush, because you can have status locally. Club promoters are getting fucked, even though they're broke, but because they can get you to skip the goddamn line, and they can put you in a section at the club.
Yeah, so whether you look attractive or you have like certain benefits to you.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is if you want to live this kind of lifestyle, you have to become the man that you'd admire and that others would admire. So, or do you admire someone who doesn't work out? Do you admire somebody who's that fat and out of shape? Do you admire somebody who's broke? Do you admire somebody who can't handle his business? Do you admire somebody whose word isn't bond? Do you admire somebody who doesn't move with integrity? Do you admire somebody who lies? If you don't admire that person, then why would anybody else admire that person? Why would anybody else respect that person? And the only way you're going to get multiple women to agree to this lifestyle is by showing them that there isn't many better options. And even the better options potentially are going to do the same thing. But 9 out of 10 men are just going to lie about it. I don't have to lie. I never had to lie. I was blessed, and I'm grateful, and I thank God every day for what they call pre-selection. Pre-selection is the very shallow attributes that women are attracted to. I look breedable. I am tall. I am big. I am strong. I am handsome. I have a beard. I have dimples. I have nice teeth. All of these things that and I look like I can protect. So a woman feels safe with me. A woman could see birthing my children based on just physical features. But a lot of men, the average man in this country is 5'7" to 5'9", making $37,000 to $50,000 a year, and they're 70% of the country's obese. So odds are they're out of shape, and they're invisible to most women. So that's what pre-selection is. But if you fall into that average category, which there's nothing wrong with, that average is most people. If you fall into that category, then that's just a consequence. besides the physical features, at least height anyway, the rest of that is your fault. You don't have to be out of shape and you don't have to be broke. Those are results of your choices.
Kevin Hart had bitches.
Yeah.
Probably still has bitches.
Yeah, but because he's successful, he can offer a lifestyle. He's handsome. He may be short, but he's in shape.
Mm-hmm.
He's funny.
That's what I'm saying. So you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's no excuse. You not saying you have to be Kevin Hart, but you could be the local version of it, and you could have 2 or 3 women who are willing to be with you because of that.
Okay.
If that's what you want.
So then work on themselves, not only be able to provide for themselves, not be looking for a handout, but also be able to provide and be a man to other women.
Yeah, you got to provide. You ain't splitting no bills with women and thinking that you're going to have multiple women want to be with you. That's just not going to fucking happen. That's the difference in this situation is my money is our money. Her money is her money. I don't ask her for money. I don't need her money. She can make money electively. She doesn't have to work, but that's completely up to her. That is her prerogative.
Sensational.
But there's no way in hell you're going to be splitting bills. And I mean, unless you're just slanging and word got around and, but,
Good again.
I mean, maybe. Oh, shit, excuse me. But anyway,
So yeah, so your answer is basically like work on yourself.
yes, you have to become the best man. You have to be somebody that you admire, somebody that you needed when you were younger.
and also be secure.
Yeah, well, I mean, but if you are that, you're going to be secure. That's the reason I move the way I do in this relationship. That's why when we start arguing, I have a very short leash for that, which is the door's right there, because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table, and I know that. I mean, we can turn these cameras around. You think somebody's not going to want to live in this big ass house?
Zombie acting like we argue.
We don't. But I'm just saying when it happens.
Anywho, so to end, I will also say that if a woman or a man or a person wants to be in a situation like this, like I started this episode with, like the more that you work on yourself, you know who you are, who you aren't, you are okay being alone, then everything else is just an addition. And so it's, there's going to be unlearning, learning, going against the grain, not just following a crowd, like being different and being okay with that, and being sure of yourself, becoming confident in self, but also being confident in the person or persons that you're with, and having open communication. So yeah,
We're about to call it.
all right.
But I want you to answer in the shortest Gemini way possible.
Shit.
Same question. What do you want to tell women on how to be in this situation?
That's what I was just explaining.
You were saying for everybody. I'm saying specifically.
Specifically for women.
Like what does she need to do to be able to handle this kind of relationship?
Really, nigga?
What does she need to do? To be in something like this, be open-minded. Be confident in herself. Like I said, like work on, is it your security and like the way that you love yourself, and being open for multiple love, which, it comes with just like if you have like siblings or if you have children, like you're able to love all of them in different ways. And so being open-minded enough to kind of apply that in like a romantic setting.
And you gotta be able to go.
That too.
Also with your tongue for her.
That too. Like we gotta step back and like sexual things don't matter because they fucking do. You want the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the financial from said partner. Yeah, and also be able to bring something to the table. Like what do we have to offer? And typically men aren't going to be looking for money or like provision. Provision? comes to the world, do you bring like love for the children that we already have? Like, I knew signing up for you meant signing up for 2 kids, and also their mom, which we all have a great relationship with, which, you know, is going to be...
Yeah, the things that I need you to bring to the table are very simple. I need you to be peaceful, sweet, and not talk my fucking ear off.
I already got that handle. But no, they'll be able to
for
talk
the next
my
one,
ear off.
yeah, they can talk. You guys can talk all you want because I'm gonna be at work.
No, yeah, for sure. No, but yeah, so to women who are wanting to get into a situation like this, I think it's like the open-mindedness of learning, unlearning, exploring, giving yourself permission to explore both romantically and sexually, and just having a good time. I think that a lot of the women that we've been with give themselves permission and feel safe to explore, whether it's a fantasy or whether
And
it's like, yeah, we also have a mega bed, but that's neither here nor there. They've given themselves permission to open up. So, you know, this also has to be a safe space for women to feel comfortable to do that.
So you need to make them feel safe too.
No, yeah, that's something that I've worked on. Because, like I said, anywhere you're triggered, you're not free. So there has been times where I've projected, like, oh my God, what if Troy fucking leaves me and I'm gonna fucking lose everything? But, like, of course, that's like an illusion, because when you get in your feelings, you like fight or flight mode.
And men don't leave. We don't leave. The only thing that's gonna get a man to leave a woman is if she cheats on him and he finds out. By the way, if I ever find out that she's fucking some other dude or has fucked some other dude, this podcast is over and so is this relationship.
And that's the craziest thing, is that I literally haven't even touched another man since before we have ever even touched each other.
Alright, well this is on YouTube, so comments.
Ain't nobody got shit to say. Period.
Alright, let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it. So this has been the Poly Perspective with Troy and Jessica. We appreciate everyone who has made it this far. You can like, subscribe, follow, share this with someone.
We're gonna go to Instagram. We're gonna start our own Instagram page and
Yeah, leave
put
a
up the
comment,
clips
follow
and all
us.
that other shit. Like and motherfucking subscribe, and we thank you for tuning in.
What is it? Smash that subscribe